All right, the third session. You understand what it is. Now we're going to get back at it because I stopped off I kept my tab as well, talking about forgive you of your sins, but yet you still got to deal with the struggles that you have to deal with every day. Because again, it's all about mentally controlling you and giving you hope and peace. So therefore you think if you're sitting in a church or churches or religious circles that you're doing right. And therefore you have a sense of keeping yourself condoned, keeping yourself in a modest mindset. And it keeps you at peace to say, oh, we got this huge judge dude in the sky that I never seen, but he's there watching over me. You know, you still this child thinking that Santa Claus is saying, well, whether you're good or bad depends on, you know, what if you're good or bad, I'm going to give you whatever that you want. If you're good or bad, if you're bad, you're not going to get it. If you're good, you might get it. And you're sitting there. Okay, God. Okay. And you know what the person who's telling you this? You know, the only people who's telling you that? Human anthropomorphic pastors, not God himself standing in front of you, telling you what it's going to do for you. They're telling you. Don't accept what they're telling you. You get on, you find your own path. Go in the woods somewhere, go somewhere and you answer. You make you get the answers for yourself. You figure it out. Go out there and chop some wood and talk to your invincible God. You know, the bad part it is, you know, I've heard testimonies from people who said they've done that. They were out there in the woods chopping the tree based on the indoctrination that was given to them while they were smoking on a stogie and drinking a bottle of vodka. Then they'll come back and say, oh, you know what? I met God over. He told me that I was a prophet and I need to open up a strip store, a strip club. I think that's what he said. A strip club. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's the answer to everything. I'm like, dude, just listen. I'm gonna dial the 7-digit number. I know this doctor over here. He will help you. You know, you'll be there for a little while. Okay, until you dry up. You cannot beat at the tree. Listen, you cannot cut down your false reality with the indoctrination. You can't do it. You cannot go out there and go there with what the pastor, the preachers, or the ministers, or what your religion said. Go out there butt naked without them and their words in the back of your synapses. You go out there and you go with it with what you know, what you feel, with your spirit energy, and I guarantee you're going to find something, hopefully not a grizzly bear or a stray tiger while you're out there in your birthday best. Okay. But you will find an answer, especially to the answers of your own struggles, where you don't need this pulpit destroyer to tell you what to do or scare you into, oh, you know, if you don't do right, God's going to send you to hell. And I already taught you in my other audio, hell and heaven is a condition of life. It's not a place you go to. It's a condition. You can be sitting in the church and still be in hell. You know that? You can be a saint. You can be a Muslim. You can be a Catholic. You can be a Buddhist sitting around your circle and still be in hell, because hell is a condition that you probably have allowed yourself to be in or been deceived to be put in because you believed. You get that? When you stop believing and you start knowing and do your own footwork and start standing on your own 2 feet and writing your own books, being the signature of your own, the author of your own life, and owning up to yourself and your soul, and stop allowing people to pull you around like Ralph the dog in my academy, then you'll get your answers. You're never going to get your answer being the second seat passenger of your own car. My task is to make sure you are the only owner of this car. Every time y'all come past me, I got a clipboard. I'm saying, are you the owner of this car? Let me see your title on your register. Are you the owner of this car? No, because the pastor said, my mama said, the doctor said, the government said, this person said. You know what I'm going to say? Pull aside. This car is not yours. Get out the car, find a taxi, find somebody else, go call your mommy, come pick you up. This is not your car. Go. This car is going to be sitting right over here in the parking lot. And if it sits out here too long, I'm going to get it towed and get it crushed. Because nobody owns it, and definitely not you. Do you get that? So when you start living your life the way you are supposed to, when you guide yourself, you see the light, not somebody else say, oh, this is the light over here. You know what God said? You know, Corinthians said this, in the Quran, it said this on chapter, blah, 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 blah. You sitting there like, duh, okay, duh. Guess what? When the crossroads come and God do judge you, if there was a God and God's in your face, you know what God's going to say? Why did you do this? You're going to be like, because in the book, it said, you're done. Get out. You're finished. You do not pass go. You do not collect your life. You're done. You got to be standing there. You got to say, I did it, God, because I chose to do it. Because I know best. Because you know what? I figured it out and I decided to do this. Not because the pastor said, because I want to do this. All right, you can go. Okay, this is your car. You got the keys. You're the owner of yourself and you're the boss of all that you survey. So, okay, go ahead. Go on about your way. Just be safe. Be wary because there's going to be some Agent Smiths down the road who's going to try to mug you for your car. Don't let them do that. You know how they do it? It's called deception. I know I'm on fire. Hush your mouth. Let's go further. Now, I gave you the footwork and I said Adam and Eve dumb, right? In the beginning, didn't I tell you about the fall? I hope you remember. If not, hope. I expect and trust that you remember. If you don't, listen, get out. I'm not going to waste my time with you. I'm going to wipe my hands and I'm going to dry it and say, I'm done with you. I told you everything that I need to tell you about what we are discussing here. Listen, Adam and Eve is supposed to be the beginning, right? And we're trying to clean up for what Adam and Eve done. All right. If y'all don't know who I am, okay, not only am I a red pill provider, I'm also a man. And as a man, I have gone my own way as a man. I have gone my own way because I have discovered and learned that Eve is not of my rib. You want to know why? Because I'm not a selfish man. You see something, I care about other men as well. You understand? I'm not a brother who will leave the village and the village is suffering and everybody's going through something. Oh, I made it. Oh, I'm just caring about. No. No. I see men today. I see men going through the unnecessary. If you want to talk about somebody who's being downtrodden, you want to talk about someone who's being scorned. If you really want to talk about a tribulous time, that will be men. Okay. And you know about me. I don't stand by anything that hurts someone. And the ones that I see right now, who's going through the most, whatever you feel is what you feel. I talk about what I know statistically is men and children. How was this, Morpheus? Like, what are you talking about? Well, you don't pay attention. So you probably a married guy who's already jumped over the rope and you already sold yourself down the river. So there's no need for me to explain myself to you. You know, you probably the worst of the worst where you say, happy wife, happy life. Oh, happy wife, happy life. Okay, shut that bird up and close the cage and send him out of here, please. I don't like that. It's really hurting my ears and I feel like throwing up listening to it. You understand? But see, men are not doing this for fun. You know, men aren't struggling for fun. You know, men are being disenfranchised just because, well, you know, he's a good man. Oh, I'm going to say a bad man. How about that? He's not being put in tough situations because he's dumb. He's not being beat on top of his head because he's a retard or he has a hard head. No. Oh, no, absolutely not. There's some of it, but not all of them. You know, men aren't being in a struggling situation here in the Westernized civilization and around the world just because he wants to struggle. No, men want heaven. And in order to reach heaven, sometimes they try to reach for the softest thing that's available. And it's called the woman. Nice, soft, caressive, don't let me continue that path because I can do that all day. Okay, she knows that. But he can't. Why? He's being disenfranchised because what? Because he's a man. And every loophole possible that your world can create, I'm not even say the westernized civilization, is going on everywhere to disenfranchise him and think, oh, he's just the ATM machine. He's just somebody who can just, he's just a pack mule. He don't feel anything. Let's just treat him like a dog. And it's being done. And it's being done cooperatively, and it's being done uncooperatively, and it's being done voluntarily and involuntarily and systematically. Whereas now there's not a lot of powers in his hands, and the powers is being given to others that are going to actually they're abusing it by abusing him. And in return, if he's not there to create the family, if he's not there to be the logical backbone for the family, guess who suffers? The children. Because him being somewhat, if you consider to be a context of the Bible or your so-called religion, that the man usually leads the way. The man is supposed to be because designed to denote function. This ain't patriarchal. If you think it is, this ain't the channel for you. I already told you to get out. I don't even know why you still here. You should have left like 5 minutes ago. So when a pillar of the family falls, pretty much everything else is going to deflate. Everything else is going down as well. And the children, see, life is hard. Life is, let me give it to you very simple. And I don't want to talk long about, this already. Listen, life is still a war going on. It's just not the way it was back in the village days. There's still bears, there's still lions, there's still traps, there are still struggles, there are still issues that we have to deal with, but we have to deal with it mentally now. We got to deal with it. Listen, mind, body, and spirit now. You don't have to lift up you don't have to use your blower. You don't have to. It's not that type of war anymore. Only every now and then, but really it's not. It's your mind, your spirit, and your physical body, your health, how you take care of yourself. You understand? So some of us live in a space bubble where we feel like, well, there's no lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. And so we get rid of our providers. We get rid of the stronghold of our family. We get rid of men. We say, men, you're insignificant. I'm just going to use you. I want money from you. Please give it to me. You are a walking ATM. Your name's not, what do I going to call you? David? Your name is ATM Bank. Your name's not Daryl. Your name is ATM Bank. No, you're not Jeff. Of course you're not. I never seen Jeff nowhere on your ID or your social security number. All I see is you. I see ATM. And so guess what the system does? Okay, sure. So we're going to make sure that he's an ATM. And most times he don't know it. Because guess what? He's still reaching for heaven, but the heaven's not there. And you know what he's reaching for? He's reaching his hands over to the left side. Guess what? Uh-oh. And he's touching a rib that's still present. And all this time, the story was like, oh, God made Eve from Adam's rib for dummies. If that's the case, his rib would not be there. But really, metaphysically, that means he will have a life partner. That means there should be a companion somewhere. That means Eve's supposed to be standing there. That means when he's climbing up a tree, Eve is right there like, I'm here with you, baby. I'm here. I'm here. I'm pulling the rope with you. When you get weak, I am strong. When I am weak, you are strong. I visited a friend at a court one day. I had to come and pick them up, and I visited them, and they were sitting there in the courtroom. Listen carefully. Listen. I saw something in the back of the room that destroys everything. It destroys everything. And it blew. Listen, I know what symbology is all about. And I told you, I got an audio called Symbology Communication. There was no greater red pill for Morpheus than that ever. And I'm sitting there in the courtroom. I couldn't hear anything that nobody said. The judge and people talk. All I heard was this. That's all I heard. I seen it was a balance beam. And some of you who were born yesterday don't know what this is. This balance beam was a classic old balance beam where you have two balancers on one side and the left side. And it represented justice and balance, which hit me in the stomach. That right there is the number one part of my life, and an important aspect that will always be respected. Balance. I was like, wow, this is awesome. I'm staring at it, looking at it like that's what real justice is. That's powerful. The balance beam. When you put one weight on the other side, guess what's going to happen? The other person is uplifted, or the other person takes the labor, or it's the other person's turn. It's your turn. Like, oh, it's your turn. Now it's up. And when you take the labor from the other side and you shift it past the middle to the right side, if you want to go to the right side with this, and now the other side is uplifted now. Like, oh, it's your turn. It's you now. Okay, it's you. Check this out. And so what ends up happening is when you, as a relationship dynamic, when he's down, she's up. When she's up, or when she's down, he's up. And look at this as an engine. Look at this as a boat that's rowing, where you're trying to get to a destination in life. You're trying to make a family, make your kids, raise your kids, love your kids, move the westernized civilization, the world, or in the proper direction. You want to advance, right? When you rowing, one person goes forward, the other person goes back, and y'all doing it in synchronization. Hee haw, hee haw, hee haw. And sometimes it's never, if it's balanced, nobody's moving nowhere. Meaning, oh, we are a power couple. Oh, you're a man, I'm a man too. You're a woman, I can be a woman too. All this old, I'm not going to do it. Y'all already know. Listen, y'all, the ball's in your court from here on out. Morpheus is not going to step on that sticky ground. Not yet. I'm ready, but I'm not going to do it yet. Not in this classroom. Okay. But when you do that, guess what? You ain't going nowhere. Y'all fighting each other. Now nobody's moving. Y'all standing right there in the water. And you know what? Your dumb behind is getting ready to sink. Both of you are getting ready to hit the bottom of the ocean, and you're done for. The lifeguard is like miles away. You might as well forget it. Somebody better roll this boat. Somebody better roll the boat. You better roll it. You understand? But we're a power couple. No, I'm as good as you are. No, you wash the dishes. No, I'm going to pay the bill. No, I'm going to make some money. No, I'm the one with the 2 degrees. So you're going to be at home. You're going to, oh, baby. No. I'm the one with the degrees. You're going to, all this unnecessary stuff. And all the while, men are still grabbing their rib now. As I'm speaking the story, men are touching the rib like, wait a minute. It's still here. Wait a minute. That's still, okay. Wait a minute. It's still here the whole time. So what happens is one party jumps off, and most likely because the womanist movement and because we have gone soft and because there are many, many issues that I'm not going to talk about right now, she says, you know what, forget it. I can do all by myself. Just let me get off right here. So she's caused the chaos. Now you can call it a raft, if anything, or canoe. If you really want to look at the canoe, that'll be more of a accurate description here. Now it's rolling. The man's like, come on, slow down. We got to get going. No, I ain't going to do it. I ain't going to listen. No, I ain't going to work with you no more. I can do it all. No, I can do it all by myself. Jumps off and she swims to the other one that's probably sitting there on the other side, wherever they are. And now, you know what the man's like? Well, I guess I have to roll this canoe all by myself. And then he's hee haw, left, right. He gets used to it. 1 year passed. 4 years passed. He's getting wherever he needs to go. Hee haw. Right? And all the while, he's hearing stories in the church. He's hearing your pastor or you, pastor, listening to this, thinking I can't see you. I can see you through these airways. You listening, and you know I'm telling the truth. You know I'm telling the truth. Listening to you telling him, yeah, Eve was made from Adam. And the dude's sitting there, wait a minute, what are you talking about? I've been rowing this canoe for like 10 years now, and you talking about she's made from my ribs. Get the hell out of here. Who you think you lying to? I'm 34 years old. I'm 49 years old. I'm 40 years old. I'm 50 years old. Look, listen to this. I'm 27 years old and you telling me Eve is made from me. What kind of joke do you think I am? You think I was born 2 weeks ago? You know, like Morpheus is, you know, students in the back of the classroom that's going to get a package early in the morning or get sent out by his deans. I'm not those guys. I know exactly what's going on. I got a red pill and no. And you know what he does? He's going from shore to shore, living his life, functioning, taking care of himself, sometimes taking care of his own kids, doing what he can by himself. Then all of a sudden, after about 15 years or so, or around there, and here she come back, swimming back to him. Adam, will you take me back? I'll help you. I'll help you. I'll help you row your canoe now. And he's like, wait a minute. Excuse me? You'll help me do what? You'll help me do what? Like, wait a minute. I'll help you. Wait. No. Listen, sister. Yeah, she's sister now. Listen, sister. I've been rowing my boat. I've been rowing my raft. I've been rowing my canoe this whole time, all by myself. And I needed you to beginning. I tried to help you. I wanted to do it with you. You said no. And you grabbed the paddle and tried to throw it in the water so I can dive in with you and drown to death. I decided to go ahead and keep rolling because guess what? Life keeps on moving. So I decided to keep riding with life. And now you want to come back? He's like, no, you're done. No, I'm good. And you know what some men do? Let me check this out. Some men, they get so good where they don't even have a canoe anymore. They got a yacht. Now they're not even going hee haw. They're sitting there in the steering wheel with the radio blaring with a cold Budweiser or wine or something like that in the background or something he can roll up. And he's good. He's fine. He don't need you. And he was struggling the whole time. He said, I needed your help. There's 2 seats. There was 1 seat on the left, another seat on the right. She decided to jump off. So he had to stand right in the middle and roll both sides to survive. Going from place to place, struggling, cooking for himself, dodging bullets, being careful not to drop the seed in the wrong type of person while he is trying to live his life as a man. Then guess what? Now she come along and he's on his yacht now. Now he's rolling. She's like, oh my God, look at that. Okay, let me come over to him now. No, I don't have to roll no more. Listen, I don't have to labor to make this relationship work anymore because guess what? He's rowing the boat now. I mean, he's not rowing. I can sit in his yacht. I can sit on his boat now. Okay? I can sit on it. And here she goes swimming over to you, or probably by a raft that she took from somebody, pilfered from them through child support or alimony. You know how they do it. And here she is. Throw me an anchor. Can I come aboard? I want to be here now. I'm done. As if he was born yesterday. He watched her go from shore to shore to shore, to boat to boat to boat, to person to person to person, asking the same thing. And the ones that she kept choosing was ones who wasn't rowing. Oh, wow. The ones she kept choosing was the ones who already had their boat. So she wasn't trying to struggle. She wasn't trying to take the other paddle and go, hee haw. She wanted it easy. You know what he say? I'm good. No, you said you can do it by yourself. I've done it by myself. Guess what? I've done the labor all by myself. So now you're going to do what? What are you going to do now? Just sit down on my chair, on my boat chair, listen to my music, drink up my drinks, roll up my roll, and you didn't work for it? Absolutely not. The anchor's not for you. The anchor's not for you. As a matter of fact, I'm heading somewhere right now. Scoot on somewhere else. Go to shore and ask for the lifeguard somewhere. You know, here, if you want something here, I'll give you this donut right here. This lifesaver, that's all you're going to get. I'm out of here. Do what you want to do with that. You're going to put it around your neck, your waist. I'm going somewhere else. And she's sitting there, oh, all men are dogs. I don't believe it. I'm going to blame him that I'm stranded out here. I'm going to blame him that I'm stuck on this raggedy boat. I'm going to blame him. I'm going to blame him. I can't believe he walked through. He's a deadbeat. He's a deadbeat dad. He's a deadbeat person. He's just a dog. He's a pig. I'm going to tell everybody he's a pig. But who was the one who jumped off of the raft, off of the canoe, and off of probably little skipper that he had at the time? She did. So we are convinced or programmed to believe or stand by or hope or think that Eve is made for Adam. Yes, you can. There's a part where you can bond yourself with them. You know, you design denotes function. Of course, the puzzle pieces fit. Okay, physically, yeah, you can come together and you can create an ex-human being. That's just the reality of it. Okay. But when you say that they were made specifically from you, and you go by the passage says this, whoa, God noticed that Eve was alone, so he decided to make Eve, basically. Oh, well, God noticed that Adam was alone. I surveyed the garden. Here we go. I surveyed the garden, finally, after everything else, and I just figured out. I just took the time to figure out that Adam is alone, so I'm going to make him Eve. What a joke. That sounds like a very superior God to me. Sound like an afterthought. Well, I didn't know that Adam needed Eve. I had no idea. Duh. But I'm the greatest creator of the universe. I can create animals. I created the air. I even put the sun in the sky, but daggone it, I forgot to make a companion for Adam. What a debased mindset and lack of intelligence and focus by people who listen to the dumb story. If you really want to think about it like that, it's really senseless. Oh, you're God, but you forget? Like, you see this dude laying right here. He don't need any friends, buddy. You can't see it. You can make the stars, but you can't see this. I mean, you made this entire garden that man can't make, but you can't see that man is alone. Like, however, let's go forward. So when the beginning is when something is being created from something. Like when you are producing a compound, when you are making a car, you make the schematics, you make the groundwork, you make the frame. You understand? When you are producing something, it comes from something. It comes from, like, even the metal of the car. It would come from recycled aluminum. Sometimes it's a certain type of other metals. You got fiberglass. You got, what do you call that? You got carbon fibers and stuff like that. It takes time to put it together. So you're getting the basic groundwork of how this thing's created. Okay, you got that? Okay, so we understand that, right? So there's two factors in this. Two factors is made from Adam's rib. That's one factor. Factor number two is when man and woman come together, they create another man. You got that? That man can either be woman in the form of a little girl or man in the form of a little man called a boy. You got it? So they both produce something. And when it is producing, it is a remnant of itself. That means Eve is a remnant of Adam. That means they are connected somewhere besides donkey dunking. That means they have a unit somewhere. That means they have a ability to combine themselves together because they need each other like a car needs wheels. Therefore, if that other part or partner defies or is going the other way or is broken, or is malfunction, that means this part is defective. You understand? It's defective. It's defected. It's broken. It's no good. It's made bad from the manufacturer. So if you got men going the other way, you got MGTOW, you got guys who got their own mindset. They're doing good by themselves. They're in their house, their apartment, and they're eating good. They're relaxing. They don't have to hear any nagging in the background. What should that tell you as a spiritual, not even spiritual, some religious dude talking about, yeah, the pastor was right? How? When your very basic is not there with you, it debunks the entire story. You should be sitting on your couch saying, well, where's Eve at then? Here we go. Listen. Here we go. The car's not floating, God, or pastor. You're standing there 12 years old again. You said the car was going to float. How come the car's not floating? Let's go further with this because I'm going to tear something up here. I'm going to bend a piece of metal right before your ears. Watch this. Check this out. You know what they'll say? Oh, you chose the wrong girl. Uh-oh. They'll say, oh, you're looking at the wrong car. That's what they'll tell you. And you, listen, you're searching your whole life for the right car. You're searching, you're looking for that miracle that they promised. You're looking for, oh, I can walk on water. Okay, go ahead and go out there. And every time you see somebody try to go in water, they dive in it. They'll try to put one foot in it and everything else will go in as well. You're like, wait a minute, come on. I'm still waiting. But all you see is catastrophe. Like, well, yeah, we know catastrophe happened because we're destroying the planet. Okay, this was natural disasters because man is messing up the planet. That's why you got the floods, the hurricanes. That's why you got all kind of forest fire. Because man, not God, it's man destroying up his own Garden of Eden. You understand? He's doing that, not God. It's not a prophecy. It's not revelation. Yeah, I put that out there. It's man in its creation doing the same thing he did back in the old days I told you about, messing with stuff, experimenting and testing things. And you and everybody is suffering because of it. You got it? Huh? Did you get the memo? Or do I got to say it again? Now, thank God. So when you say, well, Eve's not here, and listen, you think it's just you. It's a lot of men. Men in Asia are going through it. Men in Europe are going through it. Men in Australia is going through it. You understand that? Huh? All around the globe, it is happening. And men, all of them are putting their hands on their side of their rib. Wait a minute. My rib's still here. I'm touching my rib and it's still here. Where's the support you was talking about? What's this person? Oh, so you thought you thought about me as an afterthought. Okay, he's a man. He don't need nobody, but I'll think about it later. He needs somebody, a companion. Let me throw somebody there. And so now we have such a disconnect, right? You know, we're such disconnected where it's not one man, it's many men. Millions of men who are going through the same struggle, go through the same court system. They all getting shafted. They're all being lied to. They all go into the system when they bring a child into the play. Right? And nobody said, well, you know what? I can't figure this out. Then now it's time. Just like the story I told you about the 12-year-old child. When you go older, after you didn't ask the question to your grandpa or your dad or minister, it's not floating. You still have that ability to go back and say, wait a minute, 12 years old, I asked that question. I may be 39, I may be 59, I may be 40, I may be 60. I can still ask that same question. How come the car is not floating? Because it was a story. And what they'll say, again, not only will they say, well, you chose the wrong person. You need to do better. Why don't you listen to a dating coach? Why don't you go out there and make some money so she can take from you? Okay, moron. Well, go out there and make some money. Go out there and be popular. Be a basketball player. Make billions a year. Do you not realize that I've noticed this? Even in Hollywood, it's not really in Hollywood, but around Hollywood, Miami, and Orange County, and other places, Los Angeles, just places around there where popular people may live, and other type of places. You notice that they're always with somebody just because of that, and sometimes they don't know that. And I'm not gonna say no names, but I know them because I watch them every now and then. And I see the women that they're with. They have a child by them. They have a couple of kids, and that woman's with them. I always think to myself, this is what my mind says. I don't know about how you think. I don't know about what you think, but I'm going to tell you about what Morpheus thinks, is I'm the provider of your red pill. I'm always thinking like this. What if he didn't have all that wealth? What if he wasn't so popular? Just think about that for a second. What if he was not so known? He was just this regular guy like you or me. He never got his recognition. He never worked hard to get where he's at. He's just, going to the supermall and going home in a little bitty apartment or his house. Do you really think you'll still have that woman there, or the 4 or 5 kids? And you know what they'll tell you? I would be lying. No way. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. See, the thing is, somebody told me this, but I'm going to throw this to you. You know what Agent Smith do? You think it's a God thing? Agent Smith gives you good gifts so you can stay in the matrix. Some of you don't get that. You think, oh, only God gives good gifts. The devil only wants to break away family. They want to destroy you and break you down. No, I have a person who's an anti-life. They are anti-family and they are anti-truth. And this person's called Agent Smith. You understand? Agent Smith, in order to keep you into the matrix, he will give you good gifts as long as you remain blue pill. As long as you don't know that Santa Claus don't exist, you can have the wife. You can have the children. You can go ahead. You can have it all you want to, because when you're spending time with them, you don't know what you're like, oh, this is my life. I don't have this is what I do, man. Yeah. We love the programming. That's all it is. It's a programming. It's just like what they did in the Matrix. They showed you how it can be reprogrammed. You can put a pretty girl there or an ugly girl or this fake car there. And it can change. But when you so deep into it, you get good gifts so you can stay in it. You can stay into the matrix. But the moment you start waking up, the moment you begin to think, the moment you tell Agent Smith, no, I'm going to think differently. I want to do something else. Let me start. No. I'm going to put the Bible down. I'm not going to do that. Once you start doing that, things start coming apart. And she start acting funny. She start acting funny. Negative spirits start coming to you. Start losing contracts. Start losing areas you can go to. Start losing movie connections, production stuff. Start going bad. You're like, why? What's going on? Because guess what? Because you are starting to disconnect from the matrix, and the matrix is not going to give you gifts nor pay for your freedom. He did not say that. I just did. The matrix is not going to pay for your freedom, but it will pay for you to stay into the matrix. It pays you to stay. To be a blue pill, it will pay you to stay. It will pay you to stay asleep. That's right. So I'm like, okay, they got this because they're in it. That's why they're a program. They don't know, and they go right along with it. So they get the gifts. They get the girl. But as soon as his yacht is gone and he's back on his raft, he haw. You know what she's going to do? She's going to say, hell no. I'm going to hee-haw for a little bit until I see somebody else hauling this way, and I'm going to jump my haul over there. So when you men think that, just like, well, I myself, you really ain't missing out. You really are not missing out. And then, of course, you know what sheep would do? Sheep, what they'll do is, look at them. They have a nice family. So red pill must be out of their mind. MGTOW, they're a bunch of boys and they just haven't grown up. Look at this man in the magazine. You got a cute little girl. You got a cute little boy. He's popular. He's 6 feet tall. He's making a couple of digits a year. Several digits, actually. See, there's a such thing as a good family. You know what they'll do? Because mindless. They can't think outside of the program. They don't understand how it operates. Because Agent Smith gives good gifts to those who are willing to stay in the matrix. Don't you understand that's what was going on in the movie? When he was talking to the dude that wanted to be connected to the matrix, he made a pact and an agreement with them, a contract. The guy said, I want this if you allow me to be a part of the matrix. And what did Agent Smith say? Oh, okay, I will arrange that for you. And he sounds just like that too. Just like that, calm and cool. Like, all right, if that's what you want, I will arrange that for you. You get it? So therefore, those who can't think outside the box, they love their programming. Those who always fascinated and indoctrinated by the social media and by television and movie stars and music, they'll look at it and say, oh, what are they talking about? They don't know what they're talking about. I see this good marriage right here. Nowhere near conscious. Nowhere near aware. You let me know when, and I'm not even going to go there because I was going to say when a girl's willing to hee-haw with you, because they will hee-haw for a while. When things get rough, they're still going to hee-haw for a little bit, and then they're going to haul themselves on to somewhere else. So just because they go through the rough time with you, don't mean they're going to be there with you forever. Are they going to continue to hee-haw with you? Or are you trying to work out to be that person in the magazine? So Either way it goes, it's still real because there's still plenty of men in the numbers who's grabbing their rib and they're like, my rib is still here. As a matter of fact, over a few months to a few years between 2018 and 2020 today, there's been plenty of men who was in the magazine and got several digits a year and got the family and everything else sitting there. That guess what she did? She hee-haw over a little while. She said, hell no, I'm jumping off. And guess what? He still wasn't red pilled, but he got a taste of the red. He still, oh man, why did this happen? As she walked away with half of his fortune, half of his labor, saying, I deserve it because I was with you the whole time. Got you, Mr. Popular ATM. You're smart, aren't you? Got all these billions of years, billions of dollars a month, a year, but you're a dummy. Got all this money, but you dumb. Can't think with the head on your shoulders. Oh, I'm tough. I'm popular. I'm making all this money. I'm just invincible. I am impervious for a woman to do hypergamy. And she will flip you on your expensive popular head in a second. What happened? I don't understand. Let me try it again at least 4 or 5 different times until I'm broke. Anyway, getting back onto the subject. Had to throw that out there just in case you're one of those magazine flippers or social media addicts where you're like, oh, well, you know, this popular relationship is working. That don't mean they are the exception to the rule. They are the minimum of the situation, the minority compared to the majority. The majority of men out here are rubbing their rib and saying, nope, my rib is still right here on my chest, actually in front of it or on the side. It's still right here. If this thing is tailored from you, it's going to work for you. You get that? So when they say, oh, Adam is from Eve, what a joke. What a joke. If that's the case, you got some of y'all might have plenty of Eves. If that's the case, how many ribs I got on my body? That's how many Eves I should be having. If that's the case, because life is a struggle and you need a team. But the moment you got to do it by yourself, it debunks the story. You're like, wait a minute. Then why am I doing it by myself? Why am I doing it alone? And here's the fact, and I want you men to understand this loud and clearly, and I really mean it. And it's true. Think about this for a second. We're going to talk about fairness. They made a song, and this song it's the title of the song is called God's Eyes is on the Sparrow. His eye is on the sparrow. Basically, his eye is on the very smallest animals. That means you're not forgotten, right? That means you're going to be provided for. That means you're good, right? You're going to be all right. That means you don't have to do social media. You don't have to go online. You don't have to go on POF. You don't have to do Match.com. You don't have to do none of that, right? You ain't got to go no D. You ain't got to do no mode. Just sit there and she'll come. Sit there and she'll come, right? Check this out. And I'm not talking about any type of woman. I'm talking about one who is of your caliber, of virtue, any kind. Yes, women's going to come. I mean, you can get any type of ham hock to come your way. I'm talking about somebody who's of quality that will support your kingdom. That's who I'm talking about. Okay? But the fact is, and this is hurtful and it's truthful, even for some women, because sometimes they live their life this way and they find that reality the hard way. But the truth is, sometimes, and there's just going to be a lot of people, relationships aren't for you. It's not. You're not good enough to be in a relationship. You're not relationship material. And, you've been skipped at the dinner table. You've been skipped. You know, God's eyes is not on you as a sparrow. No, forget it. So you've been skipped over. That's reality. And another thing, reality, sometimes here's another real raw truth. You don't have an Eve. You just don't have it. Eve is not available for you. God didn't make Eve for you. Sorry. I mean, that's just, we have to realize that today. You have to. There is no rib for you. When you was created, it was just you in the garden, and that's it. You say, oh, Morpheus, you feel okay. If that's the case, why are you doing this alone? Why is there such thing as MGTOW? Why is there the red pill then? You're alone, right? Aren't you alone? Aren't you working alone? Aren't you living, eating alone, all that? And when the girl comes around, she's just a bounce machine and that's it. Okay, we bounced. Now bounce yourself out of here. That's it. Will she stay? No. Why? Because you are the only person in this so-called Garden of Eden. Because you know what us men believed? We believed in the story. We believed that the car was going to float. We was told years ago. Here we go. Let's go back to our first chapter we talked about. We was told, honey, mommy and daddy, they're just sleeping. They're just sleeping, baby. They're sleeping a long time and I don't think they're going to wake up, okay? Or they're sleeping in peace, baby. That's what they said, right? Instead of telling us the truth. And they capitalized on it, story after story, lie after lie. And now a lot of men, even now, you 12-year-old boy or 19-year-old, you know what they're doing? They're walking around like, no, man, I'm going to get married. Man, I'm going to do the traditional thing, man. I'm just going to do it. There's plenty of Eves. No, listen, just because you married, just because you get a relationship, that doesn't mean that's your Eve. That's just another woman. Did you know that? Did you know just because you standing there in a magazine and you got a woman next to you and she has your offlings, she got your kids, y'all been together for 10 years or 12, that doesn't mean that you're Eve. Yes, Morpheus goes deep. You don't. I dive into the abyss. You stay on the side. I'm scared to go down there, man. No, man, there's some sharks down there. No, I'll swim with the sharks. I'll fight them if I have to. I wish they would come at me. I'll break their teeth. I don't play like that. But, oh my God, this is hard. And what's that, swimming away like they're a dog, like on cartoons. I don't play that. I eat my spinach, like, you know, Popeye the Sailor Man eat some spinach and he go down there and start rattling things around. That's what men do. So check this out. That doesn't mean she's your Eve. A real Eve that's tailored from you, dude, from you, like your kids. They look like you. They act like you. They got your traits. They smile like you. Sometimes they do funny stuff like you used to do. You're like, oh my God, that's cute. Yeah, I used to do that. I remember that. Right? So you get this woman who may not be genetically connected, but she's from you. She's tailored from God. That means, here we go. There should be no such thing as divorce or separation between you and her because she is your rib. Then why is there men going their own way? Did I just do something a few minutes ago? Did I knock a shark out, or I'm sitting here wasting my time? I mean, I know I swung at something and something broke and snapped in half, and I couldn't see it because it was too dark down here. Did I just hit something, or am I just talking? Or am I imagining? Maybe I had too many cans of spinach or something like this. Are you getting my drift? Because who can provide you with something too is Agent Smith. You're sitting here waiting for the car to float. You're like, Pastor, I need a woman. You know what he'll say? Well, go to church. Go to church. You go to church. Guess what? Repackaged Agent Smith material. Oh, I need a woman. Well, go ahead and go online and find her there. Well, repackaged Agent Smith dangerous material. Oh, I need a woman. I need to see this car float. Well, you know what? I tell you what, go out there and keep applying yourself and keep doing the cold approach and do whatever that you can with repackaged, already sold Agent Smith material and see how that works out for you. And guess what? You may win, but what you're going to win is what? Something that was tailored from Agent Smith, not from your ribs. And it's going to be successful for a little while, but guess what's going to happen? You're going to be dumped, hurt, cheated on, children taken from you, child support, alimony, done for, crying, all put upside down, suffering out on the streets, all that comes through it while you sitting there talking about sitting in church. Amen. Hallelujah. The truth shall set you free. And I'll be the one in the back of the church eating popcorn, blowing bubble gum, saying, look at all these sheep in here. We are all like that until we meet the crossroads. And the crossroads, I told you, is not the falling. It's not when you're sitting there in the pile of bodies. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you meet that reality, when you turn down the noise and you open up your ears, you be like, wait a minute. None of this makes sense. None of it makes sense at all. Because I think I was lied to. Wait a minute. I think I was bamboozled. Yes, you was. Because God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son, but he can't love the world where he gave his begotten son and put a companion there that was from his rib. Some of y'all don't like that. Some of you don't like that. Some of you really don't like that. Okay, so check this out. And this is the Shangri-La and the kicker. So you love a person so much where you're willing to sacrifice your own child, send them down to earth to be sacrificed literally like a lamb, right? Because you love the world so much. Here we go. You love men that much. Okay. All right. But you do that to the point where now men don't have a companion, where they got to roll their boat all by themselves. But yet we're so powerful and great. And you know what people will say? This is what the pastor will say. And I can imagine what they're saying right now. I can imagine. They'll say, well, you know, it's the devil that's rummaging the earth right now. We're living in the end times. This is the revelations. Here you go again. Here you go again. Listen, I hope you get this. This is I can feel this right now. I hope you get this. Right now, he's saying, you know, it's the end times. It's revelations. Evil times is coming and people are just losing their way. It did say in the Bible that hearts was going to wax cold. He's still doing the same thing. When you was 12 years old and you said, I want to see the car float. You said it was going to float. And he's pointing at natural actions and trying to say it's something biblical. So there you go. Again, looking at the car floating on water because there is check this out. There's a flood and natural disasters. He's telling you, oh, it's because it's the end time. That's why you can't that's why Eve is not here. That's why there's MGTOW. That's why you're a red pill. And if you are an idiot and if you don't catch it, you'll be standing like, whoa, he must be telling the truth. It's the end of the world. Oh, wow. That's why Eve's not here. No, Mr. Moron. It's because of the activity of man themselves. Because the beginning story was made up from a man. Do you know the word called anthropomorphic? Anthropomorphic attributes that you believed in. When you believe in the story, you're lost. You're lost. You believed in the story so long, for so many years. Now when the crossroads at your face, you still don't want to accept the truth. And it's vital to you. The most vital part to a man's life is his rib. Uh-oh, y'all don't like that. Somebody don't like it, but you know, I don't care. I'm going to tell it like it is. I'm red pill myself. Guess who I am? I'm MGTOW. Hey, I'm all the way in it. But guess what? I can be honest. We are made for a reason. There is yin and yang for a reason. There's a reason why the raindrops fall on the ground. There's a reason why the flowers grow. There's a reason why a child is born every year or every day, because somebody started at the beginning. Somebody came together, which was a power unit, meaning something that was based by nature. Man and womb man. Together to create something. There's nothing on the face of the planet that's more beautiful than that. It's a good activity. It feels good. It's awesome. And it can be the best thing that you ever decided to do if it is done right. Therefore, positive is going to breed positive. Guess what? I got something else to throw on your plate. Whether you eat it or not, go ahead and starve. I don't care. Life breeds life. So when man and woman comes together, life is produced. That's the beginning. So if you don't have it, that's because the story lied to you. So it's basically dog eat dog. Turn God backwards from G-O-D, it is D-O-G. Ralph the dog. That dude that's in the corner right now, where I always got to put its nose in its droppings because I want to drop everywhere and stink up my academy. So every now and then I got to roll up a newspaper and let them know it's right there on the floor. Clean it up. Eat it if you have to. I don't care. I don't want that on my floor. I had a friend who was a really good Bible thumping man. And he was honorable in the church. I mean, he was better than me. I can say that he was better than me when it came to the Bible. I mean, he was serious. And I kept telling him just to be himself and to love life. And he was stricken sick. He was stricken sick, and he did not know he was going to make it. And of course, the doctors were struggling. He invited me to the hospital, right? And while I was there, he seemed to be so happy. He was talking about what he was going to do when he got out of the hospital. And, you know, we both was going to get a motorcycle and ride together. He wanted to make some comic magazines by his own hands. He wanted to do some drawing. He's a good artist. Real good artist. And he started coughing really bad. And he had like the wires and stuff hooked up to him. And he grabbed my hands real hard as he was coughing and choking. I said, "Man, you okay? The nurse is going to be in here." Lights start blinking, blink, 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 blink. I can hear them rushing down the hallway. You can hear their feet, bloop, 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 coming through, right? And you know what he said before everything else started? He said, "I should have lived. I should have lived for myself." And he passed away right there in yours truly's arm, in Morpheus's arm. And all the nurses came in there and checked vital signs, and it was hell from there. Asked me what happened. I said, "You just start coughing," and they did the analysis and checked the machine, and yeah, they expected it, but not so soon. It was going to be like, it was supposed to be like several months, almost a year. The promises, the way that the analyst was saying, it was accurate. It was accurate though, but he left right there. And when he said he should have lived his life, I did not know what he was talking about, but now I do. Now I see why I speak the way that I speak. And you wonder why. You wonder why. It's almost like the house is on fire. And in order to get this fire to stop, but there's fire around us and you got this cord in the back of your head. And I know my fingers are going to burn. I'm suffering like you are, and I'm in pain. And the work that I do and how I put these audios together and the time it took and giving you this information and sharing that hurtful situation of my friend passing away in my arms, one of the hardest things to do. Nobody wants to share those hurtful situations. You don't want to talk about it. It's unreal to you. So imagine that I'm grabbing that wire from the back of your hands. My hands is burning. I'm on fire. My hands is literally tearing the skin off of my flesh. But I'm still grabbing the cord. I didn't let go, and I'm pulling this wire from the back of your neck. You'll say, why? Why is he doing this? You shouldn't have to ask from here on out. It shouldn't even be a question. It should not be a question at all. Because why should we not want to live our life not according to what someone else tells us to, but how we know to live it? Not by some book or what somebody else's feelings, somebody else's idea of who God is. You are God, and what you do is based on what you accept. And what you accept is based on the results that you're going to receive. No one else's issue but yours. The religions have an ability to tell you a story and you believe it. When you don't stand on your own 2 feet, you'll believe anything and fall flat on your face and blame the entire world. And first thing you want to do is pray. Or Jesus, or God help me. But the car have never floated. I know a guy who was 88 years old, never touched your religions, was neither Muslim, Catholic, Christian, or Buddhist, 88 years old and a full life. I know a church girl busting her butt from Sunday to Sunday, helping children, helping to do the best she can do, doing whatever she can to provide, passed away at the age of 39 with a brain tumor and other stuff that I'm not going to talk about because we'll know who that is. I'm not going to. But you know what the pastors say? You know what they'll tell you in your churches? Well, it was just her time. Or, let's go further with the nonsense. God called her home. Home is right here. And to go even further than that, you got children making songs. You got people who will go further with the nonsense and the programming of, again, the group of people who went around the child to say, your mom's just sleeping right now. Your dad's just sleeping right now. They're sleeping for a long time. They'll tell you something to make you even more comfortable because now we're a little bit more smarter than what we was that many years ago. You know what they'll say now? Don't worry about it. You'll meet them on the other side. Now you're really more comfortable. Now you're like, yes, I get a chance to meet him again. Yes. Okay. I feel comfortable now. So when my time is my time, then yeah, I get a chance to meet them on the other side. I am a lot more comfortable now. So now I'm not going to fear death. And you still don't understand that you are still following the program of hope and peace, because that's what it's for. Hope and peace, not truth and evolution. Hope and peace, not truth and evolution, are evolving. It's just hope and peace. To put you to peace with hope, or to give you hope while you peacefully falling down 6 feet under. That's it. They're going to say that, well, God called her home, when it was nature that called her home. What's the difference between her giving money to the offering, doing her tithing and offering, suffering for children and people, and passing away at 39, versus this person who never even knelt on their knees, not even to do anything, and passing away at a full life of 88 years old? You can't even answer that question because the logic's not there, because the fact is it's the story that makes you dissuade yourself and persuade yourself not to be a thinker, not to focus on what's really going on here. Because what will make a life more precious than the other when life is supposed to be precious, right? Right? Let's go back here for some of you who forget. God's not a specter of person and will forgive you of your sins. Therefore, he's not going to judge you based on this guy. It could be a guy. It can be a mongoose. It can be a donkey. It can be a space alien. The fact is, they said not a specter of person and not going to judge you based on that, but on your deeds. What kind of deeds did she do versus his? And she was the one who was active in the church, Bible thumping and praying as hard as she could. But guess what? She left earlier than him, and he kept on moving in the land of the living, because here right now is home. Right now is your condition of hell or heaven, not some sky somewhere else. Put your childish Disney-like thinking aside and grow up. You make it or you break it right here on earth's soil. If you don't do it, you don't pass go and you don't collect your life. Or common sense. All life is precious. And they say, oh, all life is precious in the eyes of God. Really? I just told you a story and you forgot that fast. Because you don't want to listen. You don't want to accept it. It's too real for you. You've been separated from the boys and the men. Go on to your kindergarten classroom. When I went on my journey and I asked the universe, not your God or your he, him, God, Lord, person, dude. When I went to the forest and donned my birthday best and start chopping trees, I asked one question. I said, why did you let him die anyway? And you know what? Where was I standing at? Amongst trees, branches, fresh air, not an indoctrination. You know what I received? The answer was this: nature and the lie. That's all it ever is. When we don't understand nature, we'll accept the lie. Because the lie tries to defy nature. The nature will always win. Therefore, indoctrination is senseless and for children who do not want to accept reality. Therefore, you ain't chopping trees, you chopping down your own sense of logic. Because you're afraid of reality. And you know how we deal with reality today? You want to know how we're doing it currently? It's called computers. Now you see why Morpheus hates the machine. This lesson is done.